Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So for those people who are following me from a very long time, they know that I came here as a student and now I have been able to get a skilled worker visa. And right now it's been like 3 or 4 months that I'm a skilled worker visa. And in my case, I didn't went for PSW. Straight after finishing my university, I was able to get a skilled worker visa, right? So in this video, I want to talk about some of the key events which led for me to achieve the skilled worker visa, right? So first of all, I'll just give you maybe 30-second summary of those key events, and then in the second part of the video we'll be talking more in depth about each and every single event, right? So in order to summarize the key events, right, the first thing is that I started my degree in 2018. I came straight away into second year. I never did my first year because of my very good grades in my +2 or the A levels, as we call it in the UK. So yes, I came here in 2018. Then I finished my third year, and in the fourth year you need to look for an internship. So I was able to get my internship, and this is the same company where I'm working right now. So in my fourth year I did my internship, and my fifth year was my master's. So I finished my master's. Then right now is the situation that when I've been able to get the skilled worker visa. So in my opinion, the key events are the internship area, that how I was able to get the internship, and then finally towards like this stage after finishing my master's, how I was able to get this particular job, right? So the very first thing, which I've got some pointers written down on my laptop, right? So let me go a little bit more in depth now. So the first question comes that how I was able to get the internship. So that's what I'm answering, right? So the first thing which in my humble opinion, I think is my university grades. So in my second and third year of the university, so I think I was so overall I've been like ranked first in my degree, but also in my second and third year I don't know if I was ranked first or not, but always my aggregate used to be more than 90% overall, right? So this includes all the core modules plus the practical modules. It always used to be more than 90%. And then I think another thing why I was able to get this internship was my CV. So I really worked hard in my second year. So I have to apply for my internship in third year, and in my end of the second year I started making my CV. So I literally took around 3 to 4 months just focusing on my CV, right? So in order to make my CV, I knew that I'm not good at it, so I took my help from the professor. So like she used to guide me at every single step. So I used to draft a CV, she used to give some feedback, I used to revert back on this and then make some changes in my CV, right? So that's how like it literally took us 3 to 4 months back and forth of like editing the CV, right? So finally my CV was made. Then I was able to submit my application. Then after the application I got an online assessment. Now this online assessment can sometimes be really tough, like especially in my case. Before I didn't apply for any job like this, and it was my first time giving any online assessment. And these online assessments are more of like aptitude based questions. They won't be asking you about chemistry. In my case, my field is chemistry. They won't be asking about any technical questions, but they'll be asking about the mental ability questions, right? The aptitude based questions. So yeah, so I did that. So there were like 4 different rounds in the online assessment, and I was pretty much unsure that whether I'll be successful or not, because like online assessment was a bit tough. So here my advice would be that please go on Google and just write down free online assessments and just try to do like couple of them, and then you give the company's online assessment, right? So make sure you practice beforehand. So I think like these are the key things, right, in order for me to get the interview for the internship: university grades, CV, and my online assessment. And yeah, so for the interview now, I really want to answer this question that how to actually crack an interview, right? So for the interview, I've got like 5 different points. The first thing is that whenever you answer a question which is being asked in an interview, always try to make in a format called STAR method. Now what is the STAR method, right? So STAR is an acronym where S stands for situation. So you explain them the situation first, and then T stands for task. Then explain them what was the task in that situation which you did. Then you also explain the action, that what was the action step, and then R is the result, like what was the final output or final result based upon that action which you took for that specific task in that specific situation, right? So that's how you can really structure down your questions. So this is my first advice. There are loads of articles online which you can read about it. Then secondly, have a bit of thinking about your experiences which you have had in the past, right? And those experiences doesn't need to be technical, right? So for example, the question would be, please explain me when you worked in a team, right? Now personally for me, I didn't had any kind of chemistry based experience in the past, but I went for a scouting camp during my school, right, when I was in India. So I just talked about my scouting camp experience, right? I explained that how was I able to work in a team, right? Then I also used to do some part-time job in Glasgow, not very much related to my degree. So again, I was able to build those kind of situations skills from my part-time job and from the school experience, then basically build up on those skills which they were asking me about, the team working, the leadership skills, the collaboration skills, and etc. Right? So make sure you have got a bit of thinking about your experience, and before you answer, make sure like you can take around 30-second to 1-minute pause to just to gather your thoughts in, right? And then the third thing is, make sure you know about your lab work. So my field was chemistry, so one of the questions which was asked in the interview was that please explain me about your favorite lab work experience, right? So I literally had to demonstrate one of my experiment just by talking, right? Like how I did it. And then also if in chemistry we do a lot of reaction mechanisms, so they also asked me about reaction mechanism to draw on a sheet, so I drew the reaction mechanism. So make sure like don't go for a very tough kind of a lab work, okay? It could be a simple thing, like the main thing is like don't put yourself in awkward situation by boosting so much high about yourself. In the end, when they ask you about the reaction mechanism, you're not able to demonstrate it, right? So make sure you are doing it simple, plain, and nicely, right? Being confident about it. And the fourth point is actually being confident, right? The fifth point is also about showing your personality. So like, you know, I'm a kind of person who is bit kind of happy, smile, have a smile on your face. So like that's another thing which I did all over my interview, that I was smiling. You know, whenever I was saying something wrong, I used to say I'm sorry, I just used to apologize and then just continue. Yeah, just like don't worry if you have answered something wrong in the interview, right? So like show a bit of your personality. So I think that would be some of my tips in order to like crack your interview. Like that's how I did it. So here I would like to take a break and thank the sponsor of our video, which is Think Big Global. I've been working with them for the last 3 or 4 months, and I personally know many of the students who have been able to get their UK visa through Think Big Global. So Think Big Global is a study abroad consultant. They can help you with selecting your university, selecting a specific course. Then also they can help you with applying for the visa. Then also they've got some English language teaching courses such as IELTS, TOEFL. They train you for that. So it's really a one-stop marketplace for all your study abroad needs. So if you're someone who is a study abroad aspirant, whether it is applying in UK, whether it's in US, whether it's in Canada, then Think Big Global is the right place. Moreover, they're doing one-to-one free consultation, no cost at all, and that's a very unique and very great thing about this organization. And you can take that benefit of one-to-one free consultation. The link will be in the description box of this video. So with this, now back to the video itself. So well, now I've been able to finally get an internship. So I was in this company, right? So at the company, right, what they do is they'll do your free internal assessments, and you need to perform good in the last assessment. And if you perform really well, which is exceptional, and then you will be able to get something called recommendation to hire. Basically, after you graduate, they'll just call you back, right, if they got some vacancy available in the company. So during my internship, I did really well, and like the main thing is like I used to ask loads of questions when I was unsure about my project work. I was like showing independency, right? By independent, I don't mean that you need to know everything and do by yourself. It's also about pulling the people together, collaborating with different teams. So I think these are the 3 points that how I was able to have a successful internship, and that's exactly what I got. I got recommendation to hire, which and then basically, but I couldn't like straight away carry on the job because I had to finish off my masters. So I finished off my masters, and then finally I've been able to get this job, right? And basically once they give you a job, it's automatic that I also need a skilled worker visa. So that's how I was able to get a skilled worker visa without any need of post-study work visa. In order to know about the specific timings, that when I had a biometric appointment, when I had timelines and all this thing, I've already made a video on this. I'll put in the I button over here, or there'll be a link in the description box of this video. Cheers, bye bye, we'll see you in my next video.